Yo, yo, what up? What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay? Get the confirmation on the sound. Are we good? Let me know. Hope everybody's having a good day. Crazy things going on in the world, but gotta find something to get your mind off of it, and that's what trading is right now. How we looking? Samurai, Halloway. I'm good. Sound is good. So we will proceed. So a lot of new people probably hopping on here. Do a little quick intro, quicker than usual. Ex portfolio manager, long short equities for a major bank here in New York City. For over a decade, managing over $4 billion. Left that, got into crypto in 17. You know, I guess it's considered the early days now, but didn't start trading crypto full time until probably like right after the March crash, 2020. But had Bitcoin, had ETH, in spring of 2017. So I wasn't new to the game, but I was new to this game. And I'm good friends with, he's known as Canner and Clark on the internet, on the CT. And showed me a lot of this, but I took it and made it my own. So, you know, glad to have you guys here. You know, hope everything is all good in the world. Yeah, how those reply guys today, man. Funny story. That guy went nuts, bro. He didn't just do that to me. He went nuts on like, if you guys know George Trader One. He went nuts on like this other guy, Livercoin, and what I posted yesterday, that wasn't even the whole chat. He really started going in after that. So whatever. Who cares? Ignore those people. He definitely was losing money while hopefully we were winning over here. So thinking today, you know, that we have a ton of new people here on the stream. What I want to do is I want to go over Bitcoin first. You know, go over the charts first. Tell you guys what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at, levels, things like that. And after that, I want to dig into trading light and kind of market profile again, because a lot of people are like, what the hell is all of this stuff on your screen? What's up, Banger? So if you guys who have been here, catch the first part of the stream and then you can hop off, because it's gonna be like doing class again. So you guys already know what to do. So the second part of the stream is gonna be for the new folks. So charts, alts, conversation, school, right? All right. How's everybody doing in general? Like, and sorry, like I feel like I'm getting a cold, so you guys might be dealing with me clearing my throat a lot today. Don't mind that, you know, the and all of that. But whatever. I could have canceled it, but I love doing this shit. So here we are. Quick shout outs: Ruko, Matt, Storm, Yusuf, Alicine, Carlos, Banga, you know, all the regulars and some new folks. So let's get into it, right? Let's pull up some charts here. All right. So here we are. 3 terrible days strung together. One thing I think about right now is, and I was telling people on this on previous streams, is that it's better to go high time frame with trading right now. Even the, you know, your long scalps, they go nowhere right now. So just looking at the chart where we are, it's a very, very dangerous position, right? Like, so quick market profile schooling for the new folks. Right here on the right is the profile. This is the daily. All of these spots where price juts out at you, those are areas of support and resistance, right? So, you know, just take a look at where we are right now. I mean, we are in the gap, right? So we do have this high volume node here, right? And this was previous support back in January when we were bouncing off, you know, 4,500, right? But I'm playing it cautious right now, because the volume that we're getting at these lows is not the volume that's going to push us up back here. People are scared to buy this right now. So, high time frame, that's my thoughts. We're in the gap. You know, right here, I don't really think 38 is the best place to position. I don't think we get there. But when we go lower time frame, you could see what I'm looking at. So right here, pushing up on the 4 hour. I actually took a scalp here. See if we could string together at least two 4 hour candles. But um, what I'm worried about is, this area here. So right now we're bouncing here, right? Pretty much. And you have these lows here. And it's kind of a terrible place to get into position, and that's why I'm saying, even though I have my scalp going, that I'd rather buy higher, right? This can easily, on the next 4 hour or when Asia opens, dump back down to here. So nothing I see right now is hold this, build a position for higher. I'm cool with buying higher. Buying higher means there's momentum and price movement, and we're going somewhere. Right now, it's very similar to when we were up here. It's like desperate bounces, right? And you could see the area of demand where we broke down from, and this is looking sad right here. Like I might have to close out of my trade while we're on the stream. I would like to see, and when we go to Trade and Light and we'll look at the CVD and everything and see what buyers and sellers are doing, but the seller strength compared to the buyer strength is so weak. And yeah, gap means no volume. Gap means no support. These strong areas, which you could see here where we blasted off from, that is business being done. That's sellers fighting with buyers. When you see sellers fighting with buyers at a level like this, one side gives up. So here we have one side give up, squeeze these shorts, and made the move up here. Right? So it's right now we're in a dangerous zone. Everything right now is a short-term scalp. I don't short down here. I would short higher, like a rejection off of the VWAP. Let's go a little bit lower time frame. So higher time frame levels, man, if this doesn't hold, it's lights out. Put it that way. And then you have around 39.6, which I would expect a strong bounce there. But break here, you can look for the lows. So going lower time frame, it's we got nothing here really. Can barely string together two consecutive half hours positive, right? So you got to look right here, this area of volume here. Yusuf Al-Hassan, save that for the second part. We're just gonna go over levels right now, and then we could talk about settings and all that stuff. But right now, let's just focus on the levels, right? A lot of you guys, came from Trader SZ, right? It's level to level. That's how we play it. So, not liking this, right? And let me show you why. Okay, lower time frame, and for anyone who's new, if you were to ask me what's my favorite, chart to play, it's the 15-minute. I scalp low time frame. Most people would say, what kind of scalper uses a 15-minute chart? It works for me because I find myself when I'm looking at a 5-minute chart and seeing, one big down candle, and I'm like, oh, this thing is getting rejected. It's over, and I just give all my trading fees back to the exchanges. So I like to see if we could get a full, push of a 15-minute candle. For day trading, 15 to 30, if you were trading stocks, that's what you would be looking at, not a 5-minute chart. Nobody trades equities on a 5-minute chart. If they do, they're crazy, in my opinion. So look, this is what we have right now. We have right here, we have VWAP lining up with the point of control for today, which over the last 3 days has become the composite point of control. So if we get through this, that would be amazing. Right now, my scalp, I'm getting out of VWAP. I'm done right there. Sellers will get heavy again right here. If it breaks through a nice strong candle close above, all right, I'm going to add to my position, maybe buy some spot. I don't know. But right now, it looks weak. Put it this way, overnight, Asia and London session is way less volume than a New York session, right? All the trading today, we haven't been able to move the point of control down here. That's not good. That means it's low vol. That means people are scared to buy this shit, right? You can see we're having trouble right here with this wick, like 4,800. So personally, like I said on Twitter, it's a buy higher situation. Or this breaks down and then I'm looking for the 39.6 level. That's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Keep it simple. Maybe you look for these lows again. I don't want to keep long in this. Nobody's buying it. They want to buy lower. I'm actually gonna cut this thing. I don't like it. Take my little scalp. Get out of that. But anyway, so look at it this way, right? You have equities, which are making a strong bounce here, right? I should have taken that earlier, but I was getting this thing set up. And by the way, guys, I trade both. I don't just trade equities. I trade stocks. I know stocks. I know rates. I know bonds. That's my strong suit. And that's why I feel like going forward, some of the people that you followed in crypto that are straight crypto, following only the crypto charts, they don't know what to do right now. So this is how I play it. But look at the strength here with equities smashing through the composite PLC at 43, coming back up on this weekly VWAP, maybe a rejection, but why are we not bouncing? So in my mind, if equities are pushing and we're not, we are weak. It's a weak look. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for us. So went over Bitcoin. We'll do ETH. Go over a couple of alts. And then we will get into the education part. One other thing I wanted to bring up on, let's just do Trading Light really quick. Just quickly, something that I saw earlier. okay, you're seeing support coming here down at 40K. This is on FTX. This is where I trade. This is what I use. I find their book data the most reliable. Obviously, there's spoofing everywhere. You can see spoofing down here. But when we get to a level where there's liquidity and it hits and it stays, that's long, right? Like going back to these lows down here, where was it? Right? See how we they throw up this buy wall here, and then price tries to reverse and it's soaking up all this liquidity, and its price can't go anywhere. That was the trade, right? Now here, you're really not getting that support. You're if you look below 46, I mean, look at that gap. And you can see down here around 40K where people are advertising orders to buy. If price nukes down there, they could jump out of the way. You can see they're spoofing right now. So, really not anything where I could jump on and say, oh man, I'm missing this trade, I want to buy. Just look at the volume, right? All huge sell volume, and the buy volume is minuscule, right? So right now we're pushing up on basically nothing. All that means is the sellers are stepping out of the way, making a trap for us, making us feel like we're going to blast off, and they're going to come in heavy right here. I can pretty much guarantee it. If we blast through this point of control, this both weekly and daily rolling VWAP, then everybody, market buy, right? I'll be doing the same thing. But right now, this little consolidation at these lows on low volume, it's not screaming run out and buy this, right? Looking at CVD, you're flat on the CVD, no pickup. CVD, to anyone who doesn't know, is cumulative volume delta. It's basically the cumulative volume of the sellers and buyers. When it turns green, so this is set to a rolling average of 14, 15-minute candles. But show you a perfect example of when it turns green, right? So down at these lows, right, you can see right when we blasted through that VWAP how the delta picked up and didn't look back, right? And we kept moving. Pulled back here, and then you see the strong pickup in delta. Like those are the type of moves that carry for thousands of dollars, right? Not this. This is just baiting you in so they could dump on you higher. My opinion personally, right? So we'll go in depth into trading light in a little bit, but we'll leave it there for now, and I'll go over ETH. So ETH, same situation, right? Let's look at the daily string of down candles. We're due for a bounce, guys. That's how I feel. But you can see here the rejection at the comp POC. We didn't even make it to this naked point of control before the dump. So looking below, right, you can see your levels right here. 26, 25, and then, which is pretty much these lows, And then below that, 24, and then the lows. This naked point of control, this naked point of control. That's my thing with ETH. If you were trying to get long, you got weekly VWAP up here at basically 29. I would be looking to take profits if you're able to get back up there, but I don't know right now. So lower time frame, like I said, this 26 level, this looks like a beautiful level to get long. If this breaks, it's down here. It's down to 24 to me. You have this level here. I really wouldn't want to buy that, but a retrace of this level, maybe push below, reclaim, that would be a good move. But we're bouncing here on. We're bouncing here basically on this, right? The gap isn't as huge with ETH as it is with Bitcoin, right? The danger zone with ETH is below here. All of this. Right? This area right here. That's the danger zone. That's where I don't want to get involved. That's where I wait for lower or I buy higher. Lower time frame, it's you have this naked point of control here, 26. Like I said, 20, 26, 26, 25, around that area. But below here, Goblin Town. That's just my thoughts on ETH, And higher, obviously, I'd be watching this bad boy right here around 2,800. So if this long goes, break this VWAP, you got a little mini gap here, then 2,800. But this would be an ideal level to see if it holds. And then I think it's breakdown. All right. So, up higher here, weekly VWAP. These highs, 29. But, it's right now, I would prefer shorter term trades. I don't think this just bottoms in the middle here. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin though, right? Just gotta see what the big boss wants to do. But not crazy about getting long here. I would like to see something like a move over this point of control. Like right here. These highs here. That level there, and move above. So that's ETH. I'll go over some alts. I mean, let's look at what's showing strength today. So bear with me. This takes a minute to pull up, but this is an amazing little indicator that my buddy introduced me to, where you could just kind of gauge strength of how pairs are doing, over the last couple of sessions. Takes a minute. Give me a second. It is uploading a lot of data, so it takes a second to pop up. It's not my computer. All right, here we go. Rune was one of my favorite coins to trade during the bull market. It was the most volatile, jumping all around coin like you've never seen, and I've been noticing some strength over the last couple of days. So Rune is the gray here. You can see today. You can see yesterday. I mean, look at this. Look at this shit. Look at that. It's a beast when it moves, you know. But AVAX, Luna, Algo. Algo had, strung together a couple of good days. Sol was doing good. FTM was doing good. Now it's bringing up the rear, right? So this is a little cheat code to how I look at what's strong and what's not right now. Rune is a risky play. I think everybody knows that. I would not be buying Rune after it had 2 strong days like that back to back. But AVAX and Luna, near is up here, near the top. No pun intended. But when it comes to alts right now, one thing I gotta stress is you have to I would prefer only to buy the liquid pairs, right? I want to trade the pairs that I could get in and out, not the ones that spike and it's going to give you a big loss because of a spiking candle down. That's my preference. If you want to play little small caps and, the thing is, getting in, getting out, there's not a lot of liquidity right now. And you're likely to get murked, in my opinion. So I'll go over AVAX, Sol, Luna. We'll do those, and then I'll get into the comments. Somebody wants to look at FTM. Okay, I'll do FTM first. Terrible. I don't know. So high time frame. You have this high volume node here at 170, right? It could bounce, but if it breaks through here, there goes one of those gaps that I'm talking about, right? There it is. There's the gap. So I want to see some strength because right now we're bouncing off of this point of control over here. I want to see, and this is the composite point of control. So this is probably the strongest point to take a trade. But if Bitcoin holds here, this is a good area to get involved. You might want to start building a position. But if this breaks, you're looking like down here like 160. But this does look like a great area to attempt along. I would, if I was going to long here, I'd target, watch 180. And then you got this big high volume node around 185, which lines up with the weekly VWAP. So you got to think of your RR here, right? Like, all right, you put a stop down here, maybe 168, something like that. And then you aim for up here, above 180. But this breaks, I think it moves down swiftly, right? So me personally, not really interested here. This could bounce, this could go, but I'm in buy higher. Red alarm is over. DEFCON 5 is done. DEFCON 1, I should say. But that's my thoughts. 160 looks like a great area. These lows over here. 150, the lows, right? That's FTM. AVAX, Now this would have been a good trade right here. Composite point of control. Pushing up here. Pushing above VWAP, which most coins aren't trading above VWAP right now. And, you know, obviously you watch weekly, these highs, weekly VWAP. So that was a great push, right? Right off of this composite POC at like 77, 78 bucks. Break here above weekly VWAP, and this could go. Again, depending on the big orange coin. But if I got long here, I would target here, see what happens, rejection, close it, break above, or maybe not close it, take profit, and then break above here, close, I'd add back to a full position, look for 85, and then these highs. But the strength coming off of the pullback is lovely, right? And for some of you who aren't familiar with the market profile, what I always like to say is I don't make these lines, they draw themselves, right? So you can see here, naked point of control, hit it, strong bounce. These are the areas where I look to get involved. I don't buy in here after it made the move, or you know, just because it's above VWAP. I like to see this, because this is showing that this area is a strong area to do business in. Gives you a clear invalidation below where you could put your stop, you know, maybe at 1% and see if it goes. So market profile, priceless to me. Way better in my opinion than just drawing support and resistance lines. That's how I do it. You know, lower time frame. Let's go even lower. So you can see the big move here, the bounce off of the point of control for the day, and I'm sorry, this is the composite point of control for this smaller range. And just another thing to throw out there, guys, is like when it comes to shorter term time frame, I like to look at 3 to 5 days worth of volume to kind of get my levels, right? So if you go back 5 days, you can see here, this is the strongest point of where business was done. POC for the day before, you could see it was got some volume back here. These are the levels where you want to look to take your longs. Scalps, you know, something you're gonna hold. This is what I look for, right? So, you know, AVAX, these highs, this point of control. That's AVAX. Look at Luna. Then I'll just go through the questions, and then we will have class. All right, so Luna. High time frame, beast mode, just flagging up here. It's like Bitcoin didn't even drop, you know? The only thing with this is, you know, will that strength give way? So Luna kind of made big moves up and down. You can see in the profile here that it's very thin in the middle. You got 50 bucks and then you got 90, right? All-time highs right around 100 bucks. So do you want to buy at 90 for 100 bucks? Probably not. I mean, this looks real toppy to me. This looks like more of a short candidate than a long, but I am surprised by the strength, you know. You can see up here, this is your level to break. So if you're looking for like a breakout type trade with Luna, I'd want to see us hold above this 92.50. Uh, that's my thoughts with that. Lower, 75 bucks. Looks like a great area. And below that, in the 50s. Luna gets back in the 50s, I'd be loading up. But right now, I don't want to buy this. This, like I said, looks like a short candidate, not a long. A rejection here, and that looks like a good short to me. All right. Let's go through the questions here. All right, so what do we got? What's up, Brooklyn? What's up, everybody, man? Glad you guys joined. I love doing this. It's so fun. I love these chats with good people, good smart folks here. Let's see what we got. What's up, Bill Zilla? Right. So any questions, any other alts that we want to look at? Ethan, when the POC changes when you switch time frames, let's see if I can get a good example of that. I think when it comes to the POC, the smaller your tick size is, the less likely you're going to have the POC change. The bigger the tick size is, if you go from like a 5-minute to like a 4-hour, the point of control may look different because, the tick size may be from maybe like a $50 range compared to with a smaller tick size, you're likely to have the POC remain at the same level no matter whatever time frame you're looking at. The smaller the tick size, the better, in my opinion. I used to run on 60, but I found that was too big. So now I'm on a 20 tick size, right? So here's a quick glance at my settings. You guys ask me all the time, and I'm like, I show it every time. But yeah, that's the thing about the tick size. The bigger the tick size, the more likely you're going to have discrepancies in where the point of control is. So, glad I closed that long. Not looking good. So, what else do we got? Learner, where can you get a setup like my chart? This is on TradingView. One thing you need to know, you have to have the paid subscription. You can't have this without the paid subscription. It's not free. But just the minimal one, just like the $15 a month one. You don't need the crazy package. But look, I use 5 indicators. I keep my life really simple. This is another one I throw on because it helps with scalping. You can see right there, boom. Got my green dot, got my scalp. This is more of a visual tool. It's not a buy. It's not buy this. But 4,500 was the previous level. Bounced here. I took it. Now you can see it doesn't always get it right? I prefer the retraces, but yesterday I took this short. Money, right? Rejection back below weekly VWAP. Great trade. So, and look at yesterday. We got rejected over 44. Great trade. These sometimes are not great trades, but this is created by Insilico. If you know Insilico online, he's a beast. It's my dude, basically XO desktop, which I got back, by the way. Next stream we're going over XO. I didn't want to do it this time because I haven't set it up the way I like it yet. So I use this weekly anchored VWAP, visible range, volume profile, and regular daily profile. Regular daily VWAP. That's it. I got nothing else. There's no magic here. This is how institutions trade, right? So when I was a banker, our traders got paid, like their bonuses were higher of how closely they can buy, obviously catching it in the right direction, to VWAP. This is the magic of VWAP, right? When you're moving billions of dollars, right? Your trades move markets. The only place where you can slide in unnoticed without pushing price against yourself is at VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Like it's all in the name. You don't want to buy at VWAP. But this is what professionals do. If you look at the weekly VWAP, right? Let's look at the charts, right? If you were to position, when you look at stocks, you can really see it. Break here above weekly VWAP. Let's put the daily VWAP back on. Break here above daily VWAP. That was the move. You see the bounces at VWAP trying to push, right? Break down below VWAP. Rejection at VWAP. Rejection at weekly VWAP. Struggle at the VWAP. Break above, right? Again, it's not ideally where you want to get into a trade. So, for anyone else, the simplicity is magic, bro. It's magic. When people are like, oh, I got 17 moving averages crossed and, my diagonal trend line did this. It's just like, it's just like noise to me. It's like, I don't care. Trend lines do work, but I would never trade off of them strictly, right? It's like a monkey can draw a line that goes like this. Sometimes the bounces are coincidental, but the thing about trend lines are drawn on a diagonal. Time moves this way. If price goes sideways for long enough, it will break a trend line. Now, does that mean long or short? What changed in the market except it just kept going nowhere for a long time? Right? So that's my spiel on trend lines, or moving averages. Moving averages break with time. Long enough, going sideways, it will break. Some people will trade off of that, and that will move price. It's like, cause and effect. What caused the move? The price going sideways and then breaking the trend line, breaking the average or the trend line. It's just not a sophisticated play to me. That's my thing with it. I try to think like how the people who are moving billions of dollars are thinking, not like I drew these lines. Now, horizontal support and and resistance, that works because it's based off of, it's the same thing as volume, right? This is resistance. This is support, right? I didn't draw it. I draw them, but the lines make themselves. So anyway, if anybody doesn't have any more questions about alts, we'll go to class. Hey, Patty Pie, reach out to me in the DMs, bro. I just literally just went over all of my indicators just now. Or, stop the video and rewind like 10 minutes. Uh, okay. POC shift on the daily, right? So let's look at today. Like I was saying earlier, on this day, we're trading during the busiest volume session of the day, right? We have some volume here, but as you can see, this is not buy volume because we're rejecting at this level. The point of control is still up here. Now, when the point of control migrates to the lows, price moves above, that is usually a sign that the buyers won and the sellers gave up for now, right? Volume down here. Let's get real close. Volume here is constantly sending price lower. All the volume was here, and what did it do? Send price lower up here. What is it likely to do up here again? Send price lower. Now, when you get a POC down here at the lows, that means when you get a POC down here at the lows and price moves above, what I like to see is price move above on high volume. That's a go. That's take it, put your stop a little bit below the point of control, and that's a good long. This wasn't a good long I took. That was a scalp. We could go from here, but trust me, this is not going to be easy to break. If it does break, that means that the buyers are back and it's good to go. So that's that. XRP, we don't usually do XRP here, my man. But we'll do it. We'll do it for you. We'll take a peek at. I'll definitely look at near. So somebody called me old man. I don't know. Am I old? I'm probably old compared to CT, but old to me just means experience. I'm old, but my new favorite rapper is Yeet. You know what I mean? I'm the coolest older dude you ever met in your whole life, guaranteed. Come to New York, we'll hang out. I'll show you. But anyway, I'm in my 30s. Like, is that old? 30 is the new 20. So I look at near, I look at XRP, and then we'll have class for a second, and then we'll cut it. I'm surprised my voice is able to last this long. So near, breaking below weekly VWAP. Shut down here at 11. This was a short below 1140. I haven't been shorting alts lately, but I really need to up my game with that. So you can see here, hung out below weekly VWAP, broke above. This was a nice trade to the highs. Rejection, short. I'd rather be short near right now. Higher time frame. So, I mean, look at it. You see what stands out, right, guys? Bam. Rejection here. Beautiful short. I'd be holding that. Where would I buy? This looks like one of those, buy higher situations again, because I wouldn't really want to buy these lows. I don't know. The RR is okay. You go from 1050 to 1150. So, below that, if Bitcoin breaks down, it'll probably take some time to get here, but right here around this $9 area, 9.25. I'd be looking here like 9.50. The top of this structure over here, $9. I mean, look at $9. Like, you see that little, just, this is the naked point of control, but look at how strong the volume was at that level, how it sticks out from everything else in that area. So $9 would be ideal. You got volume here at 10.50 and then wipeout, right? So not really keen on buying this here. We'll look at XRP for my man, and then I will start class. Okay, XRP. I barely look at this thing ever, man. I don't know. XRP. So right above at 75 cents, you have a huge resistance area here. Break above VWAP at 75. Me, if I was buying XRP, I'd want to see a strong move over 77 cents. Or, below that, 66 cents. These lows over here, high of this structure, and then the lows around 60 cents. I don't trade this. I never trade this. I haven't traded XRP since it was 6 cents. I like to trade things that have like promise and a team behind them and are building stuff. And I've been around since 2017. XRP hasn't done nothing. So I don't really expect, besides the crazy fanboys on CT, I remember XRP $10 last year. How did that go? Right? So I don't like to buy coins, even though I'm just trading this stuff. Like, I still got morals kind of when it comes to it. And this is just the most overvalued shitcoin to me. My personal opinion. So I don't really trade XRP. So I'm not a professional there. Hello, Nate. I love how you say hello. Hello. POC VWAP. POC VWAP above, move above with volume, usually along clear invalidation where you can set your stop not too far below. When you see the VWAP and the POC line up and price break, kind of like what we have with Bitcoin right now, that's where you'll see people jump in. That's my thing there. All right, guys. So if you know the profile, you know how this thing works, you guys can jump off. I'm gonna do a little bit of trading light and profile and more trading light because I've been going over the profile and how this thing works all day. So you guys can jump off now. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back, and then we'll go over trading light. 30-second intermission here. All right, so we back. um, One other thing I wanted to go over is just kind of some metrics here. Um, so you guys know mostly I trade perps, right? So this is Coinalyze, awesome website, and a good place to gauge where people are looking. As you can see, how Luna is up there flagging right now, 25% OI increase in the last 24 hours. So Luna wants up, even though the market doesn't know what it wants to do right now. But, nothing else really stands out. Some of these, when you see like something like waves, like it's such a small open interest that a 20% increase doesn't mean anything. I haven't traded that since the good old days. So, everything is down. Nothing really to see here. Funding rates, not even negative. Bad sign. Could mean lower. Shorts are still getting paid to dump on us, right? So, not really seeing anything there. OI down. This isn't terrible, but liquidations are kind of light, which means there could be more. When you compare this to past liquidations, right? You can see down here we liquidated some. It's pretty much been a slow building liquidation, not like these fast ones back here. But I think that people didn't really lever up here. They weren't really sure, and good thing they weren't, because not looking that great. Looking here, right? Looking below, 39. All these points of control lining up right here on the profile. Looks like a good area to get involved if this breaks down, which it's not looking that great right now. So let's go into trading light. Getting back to that CVD, still dumping. Nothing. Open interest building slowly. I mean, this is not what open interest looks like. When open interest makes a big move up, it looks like this, right? This is either shorts opening down here or a bunch of scared little long positions. So, not really crazy about that. As I said earlier, we got this yellow line is the rolling daily VWAP. This green line is the weekly. You can see they all are aligning right at that 41.4 area that I was speaking about earlier. This breaks through here, you're going to have resistance underneath, more resistance. And that's why people are getting the fuck out of Dodge right now. You guys see all these big orders that just came through over here? That's that open interest. It's not buy open interest. So, the key thing to do is wait right now. You can see how great these lines work. They're being used by a ton of people, not just me. Resistance, short. Resistance, getting close, resistance. Here, break, support, break. Weekly VWAP, support, daily, break. Right? So I have a couple of things going on here on this chart, right? Um, People keep longing those lows, man. This could go. This could go. Sellers may give up eventually if we keep bouncing at that low like that. But again, they'll come back up here. I'm pretty sure of it. So what we have going on here on this chart is this is the same thing, a volume profile like you saw earlier. But let me show you how the rolling VWAP can be used in conjunction with. So let's get out of these lows and let's focus up here, right? Now, yesterday we pushed right here. You can see the point of control lining up with where this daily VWAP hit. Look at the strong rejection. When these two things are in balance with each other, man, that is like it's like a treat to a dog, right? So that was the short. I didn't take it because I had took the long, and what happened was I just cut my long. I should have just reversed my trade, but I cut the long and waited, and I waited too long was basically what happened. Now going back to last night, where were we? This is where I shorted last night. This is the open, and this huge sell volume came in here, right here on this candle. So areas that are dominated by the red, those are where the sellers are stepping in. The green area is people trying to buy up here and getting no follow through. Rejection, right? So looking down here, the support is stepping in, but I'm seeing it here down to like 40, but below this, we're gonna, we would have to get down there for us to see what's really gonna step in. But what you can see here right now is that buyers in the book are dominating. So this could go, right? I still want to see what happens higher up here. I might buy a little spot and see what happens. But buyers are stronger down here. Stronger in the books, not stronger in terms of, because you can look at the volume and see down here that it's still dominated by the blue down here. Still dominated by the blue is, think of the blue as red. Still sellers dominating. So I want to see one of these big gray candles on a move up. But you're seeing sellers kind of get weak down here above. And I really expect them. Wow. Yeah. So this is why you don't buy yet, guys. Seeing it in real time. 20 Bitcoin sold. 20. So pretty much you guys can kind of see how I have this thing set up. And how this works. How you look at it. Right? So what's real and what's fake. Like, here's a huge amount of volume here, around 400 Bitcoin, but you can see as price gets closer, they may pull. So look at all the buy volume here, around 48, and then it's just nothing but sellers down here. When you see a green area down here, that's when people are stepping in to buy. No one's buying this right now. We are just gonna dump live on YouTube. Uh, so that's trading light in a nutshell. All I have here, you can look at my indicators. Anchored VWAP, daily levels, which are these, you see these red bars. So that's the daily. That was yesterday's lows, and this is the daily open. Below, it represents resistance. It turns red. Above, it represents support, and it turns green. So, what else do we got here? Volume and the volume profile. Here I have this set up where five Bitcoin takes at least 5 Bitcoin for something to pop up on my screen, and 20 Bitcoin I get an alert, like an audible alert, like that I can hear across the room, and I know the market is dumping or people are buying, right? So that's that. Over here is basically the book. You can see, you can scroll through. It's the same as looking over here. You got 150 Bitcoin at 41.30. But again, these are all advertisements to buy. Now look at 39.6, which I told you guys is where we probably end up if this breaks down. 39.6, you got 600 Bitcoin sitting down there. Right there. That big white line right there. So as this dumps, nothing to do for me here. I didn't take the short. Close my scalp in profit, thank God. I'm not skilled enough with this streaming software and everything to try to trade while I stream, but maybe we'll do some live trading at some later point. So right now, that's that. Let's look at, while we're having class, let's look at what happened here. I told you this 4-hour candle didn't look good, right? So we're coming into this area of demand over here. Right here, 39.6. The top, forget these wicks. The meat of this area right here. That's where I'm looking. And that's where I'm going to be putting some bids in a little bit. So, like we were saying before, and if anybody the market's freaking you out and you got to go check your trade, definitely jump off and do that. But like I said, we weren't getting enough volume down here. All the volume that was coming in here was rejecting price, and you can see what we're doing right now. So what I would like to see is a ton of volume coming down here. Let price sit for a little bit. Let it settle. Bottoms are not made in an hour. All right? So if everybody thinks they need to buy the bottom of the candle because it starts pushing up, you get wrecked. You're the person that I'm just sitting there and either I'm adding to my short or, I'm just waiting. You don't buy this like this. This could push all the way up here. I still don't want it. You want to see the volume build in this area. You want to see like a point of control move down here and then price move higher, right? Here was the short. The break below 41.4. Here was the short. The break below yesterday's POC and the weekly VWAP. You want to see what a long looks like? This is what a long looks like. Let's look at the bottom. When we were at 34, look at all this volume down here, right? Look at how the buyers started to step in. You could see the point of control and VWAP and see how it kept rejecting at the point of control. Now what you want to see is that flip from resistance to support. Now you see the support, blah, never look back, right? Let's look here at 30, 37, 38. Point of control, near the lows, rejecting, breakout, right? That's a long. That's a long off the bottom. Now, think about how many people who have tried to long this already, and they're just like, oh, it's bottoming, it's pushing, it's bottoming. No, it's not. It's not done yet. You gotta let it simmer. You gotta let it cook. So, and at the highs, you want to see a similar situation, right? So, this point of control moved down here, but at the beginning of the day, it was up here where this little cluster was. When we came up, we hit that point of control and rejected. That's what sent us back. Then the point of control moved down here, but we rejected again, right? So now I'm sure some people are like, oh, I got to get in at 4,200. I'm good right now. It probably a good scalp, but I like my trades to go. I like my trades to go for hours. I like my trades to go for days, if possible. This little scalp to here is nothing to me. This is nothing to me, right? So that's just a little bit about point of controls, trading light. I hope you guys, I hope you guys got something out of this today. I hope the new people are picking this stuff up and how I do it compared to how some other people you follow are doing it. But this works for me. I don't need to buy a bottom. I don't need to tick the bottom. You're trying to tick the bottom. You're catching a falling knife. You get hurt, right? If you guys think that we dumped from up here to down here and we just right back up here, that's not logical thinking when it comes to trading. You're not thinking clearly, right? So, any other questions? What do we got? Thanks, Rensler. Yeah, man. To you guys, a lot of you guys found me through SZ, but that's my boy, and we're always in the DMs and we're always chatting. Range master, level to level. I love the way he does it. Like, it's just so quick and just here, oh, dot, dot, and then here. It's like he sees in the matrix how I see the profile, and that's everybody has their own style of trading. Things work for different people, but I'm gonna be hopping on a stream with him. Not next week, but the week after. So I'm looking forward to that. It's my guy. I know what I'm doing here. And for anybody who is new and, has some doubts or whatever, for the people in the chat that know me, we've been getting money over here. It's been good times. So any other questions before we wrap it up? Michael, the candle closing above VWAP point of control is usually a good idea. I mean, if you would have longed right here, right? If you would have longed this, oh, boom, break above point of control, VWAP, back, rejected. Oh, here, we're pushing above point of control, VWAP, no good. Nice scalp here. This probably would have been the best long of the day. Nice scalp here. Held above VWAP for a little bit. And then, was stuck between, stuck here between VWAP and point of control and then broke down. So, to err on the side of caution, yes, I wait for the candle close. But, I scalp also. So it just all depends on what I'm doing. Right now, I'm not keen to scalp this. There's nothing I like about trying to buy off of this. You're getting volume at the low, and price is still moving down. I'm good. So, yeah, I don't know what that is. Sit out in there. Uh, anyway, thank you. Uh, so Yusuf, I use Trading Light. The website is tradinglight.com. That's how I look at the book. You can use exo charts. You can use a thing called Bookmap. You can use the actual book that's on your exchange, but I don't like using that. There's many ways to look at the book, but if you go Swiss Gabber leverage, I use on scalps. So I'm at the point where I don't really need to use much leverage, right? I When I trade, I have a set amount in my trading account. I don't like to leave a lot of money on exchange. So what I do is I have a proportion of my total crypto that I leave on exchange. That's what I trade with. I lever up to my full amount that I have sitting in my ledgers, right? Something goes sideways, I could always add money, but pretty much my position size to a scalp to my position size to, a long-term trade I'm going to hold for a couple of days is probably like half, if that answers your question. Uh, Michael, I don't prefer the rolling VWAP to the daily on TradingView. I kind of look at both, right? When you start your trading day, the first thing you should do is look at levels. I'm looking at the level that I'm getting here and the level that I'm getting there. They're obviously, sometimes they could be close to each other, sometimes they won't be, but I look at both. When I start the day, the first thing I do is daily open, point of control, value area low, value area high, right? And previous day levels, daily high, daily low. You can see here, look at where we kept rejecting. It was at the daily lows of yesterday. That was a short. So that's how I look at levels and kind of mark them out for the day. All right, guys. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining. We'll do another one, early next week. Look, the weekend, and I'll just let you guys know how I feel about the weekend. Nothing is decided over the weekend. If you look at the last couple of weekends, we traded in like a $1,000, maybe $2,000 range, and the market makers just keep us propped up from dumping or breaking out. Obviously, some big events have happened over the weekend, and there's always the possibility on low, thin volume on the weekend for a crazy dump to happen where there's no buyers to step in, or a crazy breakout to happen where there's no sellers to step in. But the one thing you got to remember about the weekend is people with big money take the weekend off, like a lot of people should do. I got friends coming over this weekend. I won't be trading, and I really don't care what happens over the weekend, because Monday comes, and when big money don't like it, it's over. So that's just my thoughts on the weekend. Everyone have a good weekend. Obviously, there's a war going on. Fucking Russia drops a nuclear bomb. All of this TA stuff is over, right? So I'm not really even crazy about positioning today. Uh, I think it's just gonna be chop, but that's just me. You guys play your trade. This is just advice, you know. Take it or hate it. That's it. Um, Thanks a lot, guys. We're gonna cut it there. Peace. Enjoy your weekend. Get outside, man. Hang out with your kids, bro. If you got kids and you sit here and you just like sitting on the computer all day on the weekend, you better check yourself. Um, but with that, everyone have a good weekend. And yeah, I'm gonna call it. All right. Peace, guys. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot. It makes a difference. Appreciate you. All right. Later, guys.